Hi, it's Colleen. I am just popping in with a quick Wellness Wednesday update and to answer our question from yesterday's True or False Tuesday. So yesterday I asked, is it true that your metabolism shifts down after 40? Or I think I said at 40, which is important, nuance. So the answer to that question is that at 40, no, it doesn't, which hopefully is a really good thing for most of you to hear. It means that there are other controllable factors that are causing us to potentially start to gain weight when we hit 40, and what that might look like, but it's not necessarily that your metabolism has slowed down, and we're gonna talk about that. So there was a recent study done in 2001, and it was pretty impressive. They had over 9,000 participants looking at individuals from, I believe it was 8 days old, all the way up to 95 years old. And they wanted to look at their metabolism and the way that it shifted. And basically, they found some pretty cool stuff. The first of these is that no matter the age, the amount of lean body mass, they call it fat-free mass in the study, the amount of fat-free mass that is on the person, the higher the metabolic rate. So some of that is going to be just determined by who you are, right? So if you have a bigger liver than somebody else, you might burn a few extra calories. If your brain, everyone's brain burns calories in a little bit of a different way, right? We're not all perfectly the same. So that's something we can't really control. But lean body mass, meaning muscle mass, is something we can control. The more of it you have, the greater your metabolic rate. So that's a tick in the box for something we can control in terms of what we do, what we eat, and the amount of movement that we have during the day, what types of movement we're doing too. So that's really an optimistic statement, right? The second thing that they brought up is that they don't see a decline in what we call basal metabolic rate. So you have three kind of components of your metabolism. Your basal metabolic rate is the majority of that pie chart. The other slices are going to come from the thermic effect of food. So what you eat burns at different rates. And so this is something we do in our 90-day program. We talk about what fuels burn the hardest, the hottest to increase that metabolic rate, and what foods don't. And so how you can start to structure the way you're eating to increase that thermic effect of food. And then you have your activity during the day. So, moving around, taking more steps, walking up the stairs, standing instead of sitting, blow drying your hair. I mean, all of this stuff adds up. And so whether you're doing formal exercise or not, the more you move, the more your metabolic rate is going to be elevated. Again, something we talk about in the program. How do you find more movement in your day? Even if you do work a desk job, what can you be doing to kind of keep that fire burning as hot as possible? So when they look at people all the way through the lifespan, they don't see any decline in this basal metabolic rate, that part that takes up the majority of that pie chart. They don't see that goes down until we're 60. And now at 60 is where they start to see it beginning to decline. And that does not mean that all hope is lost after 60. They continued to follow people. The more lean body mass they maintained, the more they lifted weights and ate protein, right? The better off they were, the less of a decline they had. And so hopefully what you're hearing from this is that if you're in your 40s or 50s, you're in a really good spot, because more than likely your metabolism is still humming along, just doing what it's supposed to do. It's just gotten the wrong inputs. And so that's something that you can learn, and you can learn how to control and change the course before you get to your 60s. Now, if you are in your 60s or your 70s, again, not all hope is lost. We know that you can gain muscle up through your 80s. So that's not anything to be worried about. We need to focus on putting the right stuff in, doing the right kind of output in terms of exercise, and then also just making sure that you are healthy in general, which is, again, part of what we talk about in our 90-day program. So we're going way, way, way beyond just nutrition or just exercise. We're looking at you as a whole system and explaining to you how all of these factors impact you. So the way, again, you are moving during the day, the stress in your life, your hydration, the choices you're making in terms of, do you do the the quicker meal, or do you actually like use frozen produce that might take 10 minutes longer, but is it, what are you gonna win, right? We break all that down with the science to go behind it so that you understand why you're doing what you're doing and you can make long-term changes. And so our hope is that you're gonna join us. We're doing another round of our 90-day program. It's coming up at the end of this month, the end of March. And if you want to hop on a call with Michelle and I, we will tell you all about it. We'll answer all your questions and give you an idea of exactly what you can expect. But definitely we've had clients that are losing weight. We have some clients who don't necessarily want weight loss. They just want to feel healthier and have more energy. And sure enough, they're like, I feel so much better, which is all we can ask for. That's what we want. And, we have people who are looking to gain lean body mass because, they're thinking about looking toward their 60s and saying, you know what, I want to be better. I want to be stronger going into that period of time. And so we help you with all of those things and more. And Chloe would really like for me to be done talking now. So that is it for Wellness Wednesday. The long and the short of it is, if you're in your 40s and 50s, all hope is not lost. Your metabolism is not broken. It is probably still working great. We just need to put the right stuff in and give you the right outputs of exercise, and bada bing, bada boom, things magically come together. And if you're over 60, we got you as well. We can tailor the program for your needs as that metabolism starts to shift so that we can really optimize what you're doing and make the most of your efforts. So, love to hear from you, and hopefully this was helpful. Have a great day.